many may be familiar with popular fashion designers such as Gucci, Marc Jacobs, Versace, Ralph Lauren, and Chanel. But have you heard of Mani Dante?
Mani Dotate.
Mani Dotate, I'm so sorry. It is a homegrown, oh girl, I didn't know that was the name of your brand. It is a homegrown brand by a youth fashion designer, Mikaya Collins. So join us as we welcome her to Good Morning SKN to learn more about her lovely designs.
Hey, welcome.
Good morning. Thanks. So tell me the name again so I don't butcher it ever again.
It's Mani Dotate.
Mani Dotate. Can you tell me where that name came from?
Okay. Originally, I've always wanted to go to a fashion school in Italy. So why not mix my dream with what I'm good at? Mani Dotate simply means gifted hands in Italian.
Wonderful. That's really creative.
That represents you here. So let's talk about your interest in fashion. When did you realize that you were interested in fashion?
From a toddler, probably like 2, 3, 4, I've always found a love in mixing textures to create clothing for my dolls. I'd use dryer sheets and papers and plastics and scrap fabric and cutting up mommy sheets and curtains and pillowcases because I love the feel of the fabric and the different textures to play with to create designs and clothing that were not in the box with the doll.
So outside of creating clothes for your dolls and destroying your mom's curtains, I see your mom is here smiling. She's not giving you a bad eye, so I guess she's forgiven you. When did you actually start designing clothes for like yourself and other people?
I started, you can say, about when I was 8 years old. When I got my first sewing machine, the first thing I did was tamper with it till I can create something. I created a dress. It was a skin fit dress. It had a purple band and it was green with a navy blue organza scarf at the back. I styled it and I styled it well.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence. So tell us about Mani Dotate. When did you launch it?
I launched it about, I think, 2016. I launched it around then.
And what has the reception been like? Do people tell you they love your stuff? You know, that sort of thing.
Yes, like what it's like when people come to me to make clothing, the first thing they think is that my mom is the seamstress.
Oh.
They don't ever think that a young lady such as myself is the one behind it.
So what are some of the things that you create? I see we have 2 lovely mannequins. I already said I wanted this one. I'll probably have to lose 100 pounds before I'm able to fit into it. But tell us, what are some of the things that you designed?
I design bathing suits, prom dresses, evening gowns, jackets, shirts, skirts, pants, shirts, earrings. I make body bundles, scrunchies, headbands. You name it, I make it.
So do you make what comes to your mind to make, or is it like, you know, I have to come to you and I say, you know what, I want this, and then you think about what I'm telling you, and then you just give me something that is even better than I thought?
No, what I do, how I go about this, I spend time with myself to see what's trending and think about how can I put my twist to it. How can I make this my own? What can I make of this? How can I add or subtract or divide to this to make it unique?
I like that.
So you mentioned you try to stay up with fashion trends, and I know fashion is always changing. So how do you endeavor to do that? Like what are your tips for keeping up with the trends that are always changing?
What I do, I spend time on YouTube and I spend time on Pinterest. I spend time scrolling to the internet, especially Pinterest, because it's something that keeps adding new ideas to keep you interested. And with YouTube, these designers bring out videos of their fashion shows for every season, so I get to see that.
Well, Mikaya, some exciting news here. I understand that you were invited to showcase your designs at New York Fashion Week in 2019 when you were only 16 years old.
Yes,
Incredible.
sir.
What was that like?
It was, how can I explain it? That whole trip with New York Fashion Week can be described in one word, and that one word is legendary.
You know, I'm gonna ask you for more details.
Yes. It was more of an exposure experience for me. It was very unique, and I was really open-minded to it. I had the chance to meet other designers and other ambassadors, such as the New York Fashion Ambassador. I met designers that solely do hats, one that solely do shirts, one that solely do pants. I get to see these new things, and I get to see how they get their inspiration and how they go about doing a real fashion show. Okay. This red and gold dress, it was my sister's prom dress. I stayed up 2 days making this dress, hand stitching, and of course cutting and making sure everything fits right. It is a one-shoulder sheer sleeve dress with a red satin gold shoulder cuff, and it has a long short fishtail-like bottom. This black and gold dress, it was my final piece for New York Fashion Week. This has been one of my favorites. This is a one-shoulder gold and black velvet dress. It has a sheer fishbone, fish hook like design in the front.
I love it. It's very nice. I really would. So this is one that you took to New York with you.
Yes.
And this is one that your sister wore to the prom, to her prom. I would love to see those pictures. But
Yes.
we'll
Not to brag, but she came prom queen.
Excuse me.
Not to brag, but she came prom queen. I love that. All right. So again, you have some of the trinkets that you make. So can you tell us more about some of this stuff that you make?
Okay. These are scrunchy earrings. These are silk scrunchy earrings that I make. They are all handmade. I use these to match with my outfits. It gives me a feel of what it's like to make jewelry, and I like my earrings to match my outfits well. So this is a good way for me to do that. I have them in a variety of colors, and as we all know, Black History Month is next month, so I have been making them in African prints.
Oh, I love those ones.
I have plain ones, I have these silk ones, and I have the shiny African one, as you see here. I also make headbands. I make silk headbands, and I make African headbands. This is one of the shinier African ones. I also make body bronzers. Body bronzers, you use these like when you're going to the beach, or you're a model, or when you generally want your legs to have that extra glow, or your body to have that extra glow, and it's moisturizer, and it's organic. All the oils used are organic. No extra preservatives or anything in them. And now is it time for the scrunchie?
So Mikaya is actually going to show us how to make one of these things. You're going to show us how to make
a scrunchie. I make these as well, by hand. I make scrunchies by hand in all different colors and sizes.
I don't know if we'll be able to do it as good as that, but we'll try.
Okay. First, what you're gonna do, you're gonna get a band, a strip of fabric, cut it at least 4 inches long and by at least 17 inches wide. And you're gonna sew both ends together and seal the other ends together on the other side. You're gonna leave an opening. You're gonna leave an opening to put in your elastic strip. This now will allow us to make it into a scrunchie. It will pull it all together. You're gonna use a safety pin and push it to one end, and you're gonna feed it through. Once you feel like all the elastic is in, you secure it with a pin so you do not lose track of where you began, because that is very important.
So I was asking if your mom offers any assistance to you with all of these. I could imagine sometimes during the prom season you may get super busy. Does your mom help?
No, everything I do by myself.
Wow, mom.
Nevertheless, she's always there to support me. She's always there to help me. She's always there to let me know, well, this works, this doesn't work. She's always there. She always has my back.
Oh, wonderful. I love that.
Well, she doesn't show, she definitely helps. And then, now that we're at the end, it's a lot fuller than the other two.
So if people are watching right now, as I'm sure they are, and they're thinking, okay, these designs are incredibly lovely, how would they get in touch with you?
You can reach me through my Facebook page. You can reach me through Instagram. Both names are Mani Dotate Collection. Or you can contact me personally through my phone number, which is 764-6108. And I repeat, 764-6108. Okay, now that you have sealed, you can knot the elastic with a secure knot, or you can choose to sew it back and forth with a zigzag stitch on the sewing machine. And now, my friends, you will seal this with a thread and a needle.
Are any of your other siblings into fashion and design just like you are?
No. The last person I knew who was into fashion and sewing was my grandmother, which I picked up my skill set from. As a child, I would sit beside her or stand beside her, and I'd look at her. I'll just look at her because it was just so fascinating to me. And at that point in my life, I realized, well, this is something I'd like to do too. So when I come home, I would just stamp on the machine and try to sew like she did. I tried to mimic other fashion designers and seamstress that I visit. For example, Karen Matthew, I visit her, and when I do, I just sit there and I just look at her, and I'll just look at her go, because it's just so fascinating to me.
Yeah, she's got a lot of energy too. So next time you visit Karen, tell her I say hi.
Okay, and now that we are sealed, it is done. And that, my friend, we have a royal blue silk full scrunchie.